Good evening everyone, and welcome to Gundam News. And first up, I quickly gotta correct a brain fart that I had on last week's Gundam News. I called the high-grade Zaku GQuuuuuX version a remold of the already released Char Zaku GQuuuuuX version. Maybe this is the case in one of the universes created by LOTSA, but in our universe, Char Zaku isn't coming out until December. And talking about kids being released, Bandai announced that on the 19th, they'll be announcing all of their releases for April, May, and June. So I guess this pretty much confirms that we are not getting any retail Gunpla kits in March. And I could be mistaken, but I think we have to go back a really long time to find a month without a single retail Gunpla release. A disappointing retail Gunpla release maybe, but a Gunpla release nonetheless. So let's hope that we're getting some bangers in April to make up for this. What we do already know is that in June, we're getting the high-grade Sandrock Endless Waltz version and the high-grade Humbrabi GQuuuuuX version. Meaning that maybe we'll get some more Gundam Wing kits announced. I know that I'm gonna sound like a broken record at this point, but I'm still hoping for a high-grade Taurus or a high-grade Virgo, and from Bandai's perspective, it would also just make sense to release these because they have a lot of premium Bandai potential. The Virgo can easily be remolded into the Virgo 2, which could then be the premium Bandai version, and the Virgo 2 could also get an Oz color version, which we saw appearing in Endless Waltz. And for the Taurus, we have the standard colors, the Sand Kingdom colors, the White Fang colors, the Oz Prize colors, and the Russia custom colors. Plus, there's also that one Taurus from Build Divers. So clearly, Bandai can really milk these if they release them. And the same goes for my other wishlist item, the Q-Blade mass production type. We got the G.L.R.S.S and the Psycho Gundam Mark II earlier in the year, so Bandai clearly does still care about Double Zeta Gundam high grades. And the mass production type comes in two colors, early mass production gray and late production purple. So one can be the standard release and the other can be the premium Bandai release. As for potential GQuuuuuX releases, I know a lot of people have been wishing for the giant air conditioner to be turned into a high grade, but I wonder how realistic that really is, because of course it is a really massive kit. But at the same time, like I just said, we did recently get the Psycho Gundam Mark II, so it's not completely impossible either. But what I think is more realistic is an RX-78-2 GQuuuuuX version, which is then just like a recolor of an already existing standard RX-78-2 kit. Something that I would love though is the Rose of Sharon / Elmeth as a high grade. The GQuuuuuX version is literally the standard Universal Century version, and the Elmeth hasn't gotten a kit in like forever. Like the only standard Gunpla kit it ever got was way back in the 80s, which I think was like 81 or something, despite being piloted by an incredibly important character. And that name change also got me thinking. So the thing is, Bandai can't actually use the Elmeth name because in Japanese it is spelled the same way as the Hermes perfume brand. So what if part of that name change from Elmeth to Rose of Sharon was because they were potentially thinking about releasing a Gunpla kit? It's probably just some pure copium on my part, but hey, one can only hope. So yeah, let me know down below which releases you are hoping for, whether they are realistic or less realistic. Also, because all of these announcements will be happening on Wednesday, I will probably make a dedicated video on that on Thursday, and then a more regular Gundam news, like with the rest of the news, on Friday. On to the figure front then, where we just got a bunch of announcements this morning. On November the 14th, 15th, and 16th, Tamashii Nation 2025 will be taking place in Akihabara. So in preparation for this event, they just dropped a few bombshells on us. So, let's get started with the most expensive one, the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Wing Gundam Zero Cloaked version. It goes for 38,500 yen, 249 US, and as far as I can tell, it is a slight recolor of the Snow White Prelude with an added cloak. And the biggest color differences are that the yellow is now gold, and that the blue beam saber blade effect parts are now pink, just like they were in the Gundam 30th anniversary video. So for the rest of the accessories, it still comes with a twin buster rifle, 6 Noid's works that can be attached to the twin buster rifle, 2 Seraphim units that can be deployed in front or behind the Wing Zero, a shield, a bunch of hand options, and a dedicated stand. And there is also one more cool thing that I have to mention about that cloak. Just like the cape included with the metal built Mercosius, it's got metal wires inside of it so that you can pose that cloak just the way you want. This bad boy is going up for pre-order on Japanese Premium Bandai on the 14th and will come flying your way in April. And the rest of the Wing Gang may or may not be joining it, because we also saw a cloaked Deathscythe Hell, Heavyarms Custom, Sandrock Custom, and Altron. All, of course, Endless Waltz version. And the reason why I say maybe, maybe not, is because it does say display only. So they're not saying that they're gonna release them, but they're also not saying that they're not gonna release them. If it was just the Deathscythe on display, then it would have been like, definitely not happening, because that thing is literally just the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Deathscythe Hell Endless Waltz Custom with the cloak from this Wing Zero. But I don't think the Heavyarms Custom, Sandrock Custom, and Altron are commercially available figures, meaning that they're prototypes ready to be released. And I've got a feeling that the Wing figures have been performing pretty well, especially with that 30th anniversary now. I guess they're just trying to gauge how much enthusiasm there is for them. And they weren't the only display-only Gundam action figures at the event. There was also the Robot Spirits Zaku 2 High Mobility Type R2 Robert Gilliam Custom Version Anime. Again, we don't know if this thing is getting an actual release or not, but considering the fact that it got an actual product name, I'm leaning more towards it getting a release eventually. Something that is definitely getting released then is the Robot Spirits Kikeroga in May for 35,200 yen, 228 US. A figure that's going to be great for GQuuuuuX and OG Gundam fans alike, because in mobile armor mode, you really cannot tell it apart from its UC counterpart. And it even comes with 2 sets of wires to launch the Mega Particle Cannons, 2 longer ones and 2 shorter ones. The only unfortunate thing is that while it does come with a stand for the Kikeroga, the Mega Particle Cannons don't, so to pose them, you're gonna have to buy a separate stand. But alas. The main feature of this figure then is of course its ability to transform into a highly articulated and also highly funky looking mobile suit mode, where we do still get one more gimmick. The head can be removed to replicate the final fight from the anime. And because sharing is caring, it also comes with a Zaku Bazooka for the Metal Robot Spirits Red Gundam. Again, so you can replicate the final fight from the anime. And all of this can be yours in May, which is also when the S.H.Figuarts Challia Bull will be releasing. He goes for 9,900 yen, 64 US, and the first thing that I noticed here is that he comes with a lot of different faceplates for a lot of different expressions. We've got neutral, grumpy, surprised, smirking, smiling, and masked, plus a pair of glasses for even more expressiveness. Which, I wonder, can the glasses also be combined with the mask? The other accessories then are a hairpiece to attach those glasses to, a smartphone, a gun, and a bunch of hand options. And both Challia and his Kikeroga will go up for pre-order on Japanese Premium Bandai on the 14th, which is also when the equally premium Bandai Limited Chogokin X001 Glass Feather option set will go up for pre-order. And this was also like a previously announced figure, but now we've gotten all of the details. And it does come with some unique things to make this the best glass feather set that we've gotten so far. As to be expected from the Chogokin line, the glass feather backpack itself is looking really good, with fully articulated sub-arms that even have an extension mechanism. So that alone already puts it well ahead of any other glass feather set. But in addition to that, we've also got the head of the Zeon type mobile armor, together with an action base that you can put the glass feather and the head on, so you can replicate the final scene from the movie. And the other accessories then are connection parts to hook up the glass feather to the Chogokin RX-78F00/E Gundam, and a stored and activated beam welding gun. All of which can be yours for 22,000 yen, 142 US. And for the people who don't yet have the base figure, at the same time, the Chogokin RX-78F00/E Gundam is also getting a re-release as the repackaged version. Everything is the same, including the price, 33,000 yen, but it now just comes with a different box. Next up, something that we know a lot less about, the Metal Robot Spirits Gundam H2 Dark Hound. It's getting released, eventually, for a price. But the prototype does come with a special action base that has an extra arm to hold up the DOTS Lancer. So that is good news for people who want to put him in an action pose. More information hopefully coming soon. Our most mysterious announcement then is the metal-built Gundam Barb's tentative name. And what caught everyone's attention is that this is a form that we've never seen before, especially with that red cape and that interesting new weapon behind the right shoulder. Other than this prototype though, we don't have any other official information yet, so a lot of people right now are speculating that this might just be the Barbs as it was during the Calamity War. And I also think that that just makes the most sense, unless they want to squeeze in a new form somewhere else. At least that's what I thought, until I saw this one image from Dengeki Hobby. Here it says that this Barbs will include metal-built exclusive weapons. So the simplest explanation might just be that it's gonna be a standard Barbs, but with some metal-built extra features, which is something that metal builds always do. They always add some kind of extra weapon, an extra feature to an existing weapon, or an extra transformation. And they also announced another tentatively named figure, the metal-built Hi-Nu Gundam 2026 version, which will go up for pre-order in January and will then release at some point in the spring. After all of these expensive things then, let's wrap up the Tamashii Nation 2025 announcements with some cheaper action figures, the Gundam Universe Sinanju and Mighty Strike Freedom. They have been confirmed to go on sale at some point, but that is about all that we know so far. We have no release date and no price, and the only accessories that we see them with is a shield and beam axe for the Sinanju and the anti-ship sword for the Mighty Strike Freedom. Over in China then, they also got a new metal build announcement. The China Limited metal build PHANTACI Strike Freedom Gundam version J. More details will be announced soon, but we do already have two promotional images. One is artwork, showing off the Strike Freedom Gundam in those new fantasy colors, and one is the actual figure itself. And the image shows us that the color scheme is gonna be really impressive. Just like the Master Grade Extreme, which was already announced, it has a really striking black and gold color scheme with pink highlights, but now the Dragoons have a really cool blue and pink gradient on them. So this is definitely going to be an eye-catching figure with probably an equally eye-catching price tag. Something slightly more wallet-friendly then was the announcement of the Robot Spirits Zaku Desert Type version anime mobile suit museum version. Pre-orders went up on the 7th, and this thing can be yours in April for 11,000 yen, 71 US. And as you've probably noticed, this is a re-release of the older Robot Spirit Zaku Desert type with a few minor differences. It now comes with a museum-style pedestal to put it on, and it comes with MSV-styled markings to make it look really good. The colors could also be a bit different, but it's difficult to tell because the promotional images from the old figure and from the new figure have different lighting. So is the color actually different, or does it just look different because of the different background and lighting? But what I do know is that all of the other accessories are the same. So it still comes with that custom machine gun, 2 shields, 2 shield-mounted missile launchers, 2 hip-mounted missile launchers, 2 hip-mounted grenade containers, a bunch of hand options, and 2 different heads. One with a single antenna and one with 2 antennas. And I almost forgot to mention that it's a premium Bandai Limited thing. And finally then for the figures, we got all of the details for GQuuuuuX's third Ichiban Kuji lineup, which will be releasing on the 21st. One lottery ticket will set you back 800 yen, 5 US, and you will always win something. But of course, the main prizes are a lot more impressive than the lower prizes. So, starting at the bottom, the H prize is one of 12 A3 clear posters featuring a screenshot from the anime, and you can choose which one you want. The G prize is one of 12 random keychains, again featuring screenshots from the anime, but different ones this time. The F prize is one of 4 Jacquard towels, featuring the GQuuuuuX, G-Fred, Haro, or Xeon. The E prize is a random plate with a diameter of approximately 13 centimeters, making it perfect for putting small items on or snacks. And the D prize then is when we start getting to the bigger prizes. Here you can get one of 6 random mobile suit magnets. You can get the head and torso of the GQuuuuuX, G-Fred, Red Gundam, Char Zaku, Regular Zaku, or Xavier's Gyan, and for what they are, they do look really good and detailed, especially the more detailed Gundams. The C prize then is a big towel featuring either a shot of the eye catch or the opening. The B prize is a masterized figure of Machu in her pilot suit, and this is unfortunately one of the weaker Machu figures that I've seen to date. The beanie is really nicely detailed, but her face leaves somewhat to be desired. The description says that the figure is supposed to be packed with Machu's charm, but it looks more like a blank stare to me. Much more impressive then is the A prize, the GQuuuuuX Bustizan figure. The details here are fantastic, and it doesn't suffer from the one issue that I and many other people had with some of the past Bustizan figures. A miniaturized backpack that just looks off. This was done on the new Gundam and the Wing Gundam so that the backpacks could be included with the figures, but it actually made them look worse, so for them, less is definitely more. And if you didn't happen to get the final ticket, you'll get the Bustizan GQuuuuuX Endymion Unit Awakened version. The mouth is now open, and the shoulders have gotten effect parts, so another very impressive bust that you can win. And staying with GQuuuuuX, at around the same time, you'll also be able to get some GQuuuuuX inspired food. First up, on the 17th, they're having a collaboration with Toyo Suisan for char-flavored red kitsune udon or Challia bull-flavored green tanuki tempura soba. And if you then put the 2 packages of cup noodles next to each other, they'll form the word math in the middle. So of course, you have to buy both of them, because otherwise, you're not a real math, you're just like half a math. And then one day later on the 18th, they'll have a collaboration with Skia. It'll last until December 26th and consists of several cool things. In certain stores, announcements will be made by Macho and Shuji. You can add special math toppings to your favorite menu items for 520 yen, and you'll also be able to get several freebies by ordering participating menu items. Until December 5th, it is one of 6 random stickers, and then from December 5th to December 26th, it is one of 7 random clear files. Also, in light of some recent events, they're asking customers not to order exorbitant amounts of food and to not leave an unreasonable amount of food uneaten. I'm not expecting someone to do this for a few stickers or some clear files, but it is just sad to see that they now have to include this warning. People are just getting crazier and crazier. From Gundam Wing then, the first thing that we got was a new set of Premium Bandai Limited card-ass cards. The Shin SD Gundam Gaitoushin Senki Superior Dragon Edition set. It'll be releasing in January for 7,000 yen, 45 US, and comes with 56 shiny golden cards and a booklet with extra information on those cards. Less limited then is this Gundam Wing 30th Anniversary merch, which you can get through standard Japanese hobby stores like Hobbling Japan, linked down below. There's 3 different clear files for 440 yen, 3 US, an acrylic stand featuring Hito, Duo, Troa, Catra, Wufei, Orolina for 1,650 yen, 11 US, a sticker featuring the same characters, their mobile suits or the logo for 440 yen, 3 US, can badges for 495 yen, a little over 3 US, acrylic clip badges for 880 yen, 6 US, or screenshot stickers for 660 yen, 4 US, all of which will be releasing in February. And for something completely different then, we've got these Onkyo ANIMA AOW04 True Wireless Earphones, Iron-Blooded Orphans 10th Anniversary Edition. For 18,000 yen each, 116 US, you can choose between Tekadon Black or Galahorn White, and they're slated for a March 2026 release, both online and in their physical Akihabara store. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Cluster Gundam has joined the fray, while on Steam the prototype Kempfer has become available. In UC Engage, a new Battle Rush EX event has gone live, as well as a super limited unit assembly for the UR Yonabasta and the UR Phoenix NTD/NT version. And in SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, the Blue Destiny story event has gone live, giving us units like the SSR Blue Destiny Unit 3 exam version and the SSR Blue Destiny Unit 2 exam version, and a new unit assembly featuring the UR Blue Destiny Unit 1 EX version with Yu Kajima, the UR Sinanju EX version with Full Frontal, and the UR Mineva Laozabi and Garen Sierra's supporter. Also, the Sinanju was released with the wrong unit ability, but this has now been fixed. And alongside all of these updates, the game has once again reached number 1 in certain regions, and it also passed 7 million total downloads, giving everyone a bunch of diamonds. So SD Gundam G Generation Eternal definitely seems to be performing really well. Over at the Arsenal Base arcade game then, the Iron-Blooded Orphans 10th Anniversary Booster Set has gone up for pre-order over at Premium Bandai. One box will set you back 3,300 yen, 21 US, and contains 10 3-card packs. There's a total of 35 cards to collect, and some of them do have some cool, interesting features. Some of the cards are using illustrations from the Gundam Tri-Age game, and the holographic cards are using red foil to set them apart from the non-Iron-Blooded Orphans holographic cards. All of which then can be yours in December. And finally, the Extreme vs. 2 Infinite Boost arcade game just announced that they'll be again teaming up with Samurai Energy, an energy drink made in Japan tailored to Japanese tastes, as the article puts it. From December 15th, you'll be able to buy Infinite Boost themed cans from Amazon Japan, and they also announced that there will be some prizes to win, although these will obviously be Japan only. In other news then, both the life-size Unicorn Gundam statue in Odaiba and the life-size New Gundam statue in Fukuoka will be getting a new winter illumination show, inspired by the upcoming Hathaway's Flash, The Sorcery of Nymph Circe movie. For the Unicorn Gundam, it'll be from November 23rd until March the 6th, and in addition to the new show, it'll also have like a board featuring the Zai Gundam in front of the Unicorn Gundam. And for the new Gundam, it'll be from November 29th until March 13th, and in front of that thing, there will be an illuminated V-fin that is, according to the article, inspired by Deathscythe Gundam. But, like, honestly, when I first saw this thing, Deathscythe Gundam definitely wasn't the first thing that came to mind. My first thought was the Freedom Gundam. But anyways, on the 10th, we got images for the Order Hunt freebies that Japanese moviegoers got between the 7th and the 13th. The bonus manga has remained the same, but they now also got a mini illustration card and a Barbs Adapts Arsenal-based card. As for the other things you could get this week then, on the 8th, you could get the high-grade Zaku GQuuuuuX version for 2,420 yen, 16 US. And this thing is of course not a remold of the Char Zaku, but of the Police Zaku. The armor has been changed, and in addition to the machine gun and heat hawk, it now also comes with a brand new Zaku bazooka. Next up on the 10th, we got two randomized things. For 400 yen a spin, 3 US, you could catch up for the second lineup of the Capsule Index series, which includes the Gundam Ariel, Infinite Justice Type 2, Shiva, and Red Gundam. And the idea behind this collection is that they form a miniature 3D encyclopedia of mobile suits. But like, what actually sets them apart from other Gundam Gachapon figures is that they're static and that they're in an action pose. And the second thing is the Itajaga Gundam Visual Art Collection number 2. Itajaga is a type of Japanese snack, and bundled together with it is a metallic card featuring brand new illustrations from Gundam Unicorn, Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, Gundam Seed Destiny, and Iron-Blooded Orphans. Each package will set you back 155 yen, around $1, and there's a total of 28 cards to collect, one of which featuring Meirin. And finally then today, Japanese time, is the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Unicorn Gundam Store Limited Edition, going for 27,500 yen, 178 US. It is available over at the Tamashii Nation store in Tokyo, Tamashii Nation store New York, Tamashii Spot Osaka, Gundam Base Tokyo, and Gundam Base Tokyo Annex. And basically what this thing is it's like a cut down re-release of the older version. But while it does come with less accessories, for a higher price by the way, the colors do look better than the older version. Like, they feel a lot more vibrant and more like the Unicorn should be. As for the accessories then, we get the Beam Magnum, 2 spare magazines for the Beam Magnum, a Hyper Bazooka, a shield, 4 beam sabers with 2 beam saber blade effect parts, a bunch of hand options, a new action base, and 3 different V-fins. A transformable one, a static closed one for Unicorn mode, and a static open one for Destroy mode. For this week's reading material then, there was the December issue of ANIMH featuring an interview with GQuuuuuX's director and Machu's voice actress, and the Oyoge 9 webcomic had another collaboration with Gunpla. Apparently, the seaweed is sentient and really wants to build the dendrobium, while the octopus is just chilling in the box. For this week's apparel news then, G kicked things off with some long sleeve t-shirts that became available in their physical stores on the 8th. For 4,730 yen a pop, 31 US, you can get a white one with the Preventer logo, a khaki one with the Tekadon logo, a black one with the Char logo, or a black one with the Zeon logo. Over at Bankura then, it was again all about the acrylic stands. We've got Henken, Basque, Sarah, Haman, Hayato, or Amuro Ray as a standard acrylic stand for 1,320 yen, 9 US, or as a big acrylic stand for 2,750 yen, 18 US, or for 3,850 yen, 25 US, you could get a Challia Bull and Char Aznable Broman stand, all of which are slated for a January release. And then finally, just today, Gundam announced a collaboration with Journal Standard. For 15,400 yen, 100 US, there's a green sweater with a Haro, a charcoal one with the RX-7082, but you have to look really closely to see it, and a light gray one with a bunch of Zakus. I was kind of hoping that there was like a Commander version amongst them, but unfortunately, they're all just standard Zakus. And then for 17,600 yen, 114 US, there's a black hoodie with paint splatters and the GQuuuuuX logo, a grey one with paint splatters and the GQuuuuuX, a white one with paint splatters and Machu, or a black one with screenshots from Gundam Wing's first opening. All of which are slated for a November release, except for the Gundam Wing one, which is slated for a December release. And also, there's a Barb sweater for 15,400 yen, but that one is currently listed as coming soon. And that was all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.